I didn't mean for you to see that, she said quietly, staring at her phone, while the message on my screen explained in detail how she planned to leave me after the wedding. That line, "after the wedding," is what still rattles in my chest, because 10 minutes earlier, she'd been leaning against the kitchen counter, barefoot, smiling, talking about baby names like it was our shared future, like it was sacred, like I was safe. I'm 34. I work as a structural engineer in Portland. I've spent most of my adult life believing that if you build things carefully, they hold. That applies to bridges, houses, relationships. Or at least that's what I told myself for 8 years. We'd been together 6. Engaged for 1. Long enough to know each other's coffee orders, long enough to argue about whose turn it was to call the plumber, long enough that our friends stopped asking if we'd get married and started asking when, long enough that distance doesn't arrive as silence. It arrives as politeness. She stopped asking how my day went, started saying we'll see instead of yes. She'd fall asleep scrolling, phone angle just slightly away from me. Nothing dramatic. Nothing you can point at and say that's it. Just a steady thinning. Like air leaking out of a tire you still drive on every day. The betrayal didn't come with a dramatic discovery. No lipstick on collars. No late-night hotel charges. Came as an accident. She asked me to forward her a document from her email because her laptop was updating. I opened her inbox. Typed the subject line she told me. Hit forward. But Gmail auto-suggested the last active thread. And I forwarded the wrong message to myself. It arrived instantly. A long paragraph. Casual. Intimate. Written like the future was already decided. She was explaining to someone she clearly trusted, that marrying me was the smart move for now. That I was stable, kind, good on paper. That once she had her finances aligned and the house equity settled, she'd finally feel free to choose happiness. Happiness apparently had a name, and a city, and plans that didn't include me. I didn't say anything right away. I just stared at my phone, at the timestamp, at the ease with which she'd reduced 6 years of my life into a stepping stone. She noticed. Of course she did. What's wrong? She asked, gentle, concerned, practiced. I turned the screen toward her. That's when she said it. I didn't mean for you to see that. Not I'm sorry. Not let me explain. Just that. We sat down. The room felt smaller. The walls too close. She kept her hands folded in her lap like she was waiting for a meeting to end. I asked her how long. She shrugged. A while. I asked her if she loved him. She paused. Not long. Just enough. That's complicated. I told her we were planning a family. She looked tired, like I'd brought up an outdated idea. I was trying to want that, she said. With you. That sentence did something to me. It didn't shatter me. It hollowed me out. I asked if she ever loved me. She sighed, eyes on the floor. I loved what you offered. Stability. Safety. You were convenient. Convenient. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. Not then. I felt strangely calm, like my body had decided to shut off non-essential systems. I asked her why she stayed. She answered honestly. I'll give her that. I didn't think you'd ever leave, she said. You don't really have boundaries. That was the moment. Not the message. Not the other man. That sentence. Because she was right. I had ignored my own discomfort for years. Smoothed over her indifference. Explained away the way she'd stopped touching me when things got serious. I'd mistaken endurance for love. Loyalty for worth. I slept on the couch that night. Didn't text anyone. Didn't dramatic pack a bag. Just lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment I told myself to be patient instead of honest. The collapse came quietly the next morning. I stood in the shower too long. Missed a meeting. Forgot how to tie my tie. I felt like a guest in my own life. But something else happened too. I stopped asking her questions. No more why. No more how could you. No more bargaining. When she came home that evening, I told her the wedding was off. She blinked. Are you sure? We can talk about this. I nodded. I'm sure. She looked almost relieved. Like I'd saved her the trouble. I didn't beg her to stay. I didn't ask her to choose me. I didn't try to compete with a man who only existed because I'd made room for him by shrinking myself. She moved out 2 weeks later. We divided things calmly. even kindly. That hurt in its own way. Healing didn't come with motivation speeches or sudden confidence. It came with silence, with relearning how to listen to my own discomfort, with realizing that being chosen halfway is the same as not being chosen at all. I'm not angry anymore. I'm grateful, because she showed me something I'd been avoiding. Love that requires you to disappear isn't love, it's occupation. If you're listening to this and something feels off, don't wait for proof dramatic enough to justify leaving. You don't need a forwarded message to earn your self-respect. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop being convenient.